Yep. Yep. It's one of those days.
Okay.
What's up, everyone? And welcome to this episode of Crucial Convos. I am your girl, F.L.O.R.
It's your boy, Emery.
I'm your favorite healthy hustling momager.
What's up, y'all? How was y'all week?
Been good, actually. The latter part, amen, hallelujah, was the weekend that we were blessed to, hallelujah, celebrate the men of God who raised their children get to eat gummy worms on Tuesday.
It's your reward for being a good dad.
I'm taking it. Yes.
It was his real partying in the club talking about our parent. I was like, right now.
Everywhere he goes, dude. Like, it does not.
Right, because I was calling. I sent pizza from the club.
Oh, no.
Yes. Still parenting.
Oh, yeah, he was parenting.
I'm hungry. They might be hungry.
I'll be like, yo, y'all good? And then Emery's been sick, so, and do a little more. I don't mind.
No,
I stopped partying the other day. We was playing spades, and I stopped partying to go give him some medicine. They was like, give him some medicine. I'm like, I don't get to do much for him no more. Y'all don't understand.
Okay, I'll take my little time to shine.
I'll take this little. I'll put a little thing in a little cup and give it to him.
Oh my God!
I went old school, man.
He ain't almost 20.
Right. He's only 3.
He's not. So, gosh,
can't help myself, man.
All the fathers.
Telling you, tribute was on point. I hope everybody had a good Father's Day. I tried my best to pull Eric. It's kind of hard because he's annoying. So he had his meatloaf and his corn and potatoes, and he got his grill, smoker, 8-in-1 type shits, and all that good stuff. We got to play Saber Beat. I whooped his ass in that Beat Saber, whatever.
I don't remember about it.
On Oculus.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah, so it was a good weekend. Saw Transformers. More than me, yes.
I haven't gone yet because I gotta make sure I'm gonna be awake because I'm watching every second of that, and I'm going 3D.
Oh, see, I'm too old.
Oh, I want to do it all.
Can't handle it. Too old. Be getting a headache.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was really, 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 really good. As always, they never disappoint. So I advise y'all to go and check it out if y'all ain't seen it. What's up with you?
Nothing. It's a blur. It just feels busy, but I enjoy watching all of the celebration.
Did you get a chance to look at my reel, though? I'm trying to let everybody know about it.
No.
I'll send it to you guys. Father's Day. I think that's what people were talking about a little bit earlier.
I just liked it. Yep. He was out his little recap reel.
Oh, no, I'll check it out though.
It's tough. I don't really keep up with none of that stuff. I'm just glad I took enough pictures and stuff that it just worked out.
I did like to see all your FaceTime screenshots in there. Like I love when people like, even if you don't share them, like just capturing some type of moments or whatever.
Moments, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I tell people. Folks always say like, I was there. I'm like, but really, time goes away. So capturing it in your own way is so important. Even if everything does not necessarily have to be with the intent to post or share, but you should definitely memorialize things for yourself in some type of way. It's so important.
Man, I got like 80,000 pictures for that reason. Yeah. On my phone right now. Like I take pictures of everything.
Yeah.
And then you know what it is too is because of the same reason. Like I don't have many pictures of my daddy. And it was, it's because we were just always in the moment. It was always great. It was just that we just wasn't shutting our phones.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, dang. And just like you say, the memories, I mean, I still see him as bald headed at the end of his life.
Yeah.
In my mind, you know what I'm saying? So pictures would have done great. So, but ever since then.
Right.
I think I have since start printing out pictures so I can delete them off my phone. But what I think I'm going to start doing is, that digital album where you can upload the videos and all that, so I don't lose my videos or whatever. So I think I might just upload it to that. Eric been talking about one of those for years, so I might grab a couple of those and get rid of some of those videos.
Yep, and even invest a little class before, and they talked about like having ways and really invest in a little, a couple of dollars into printing some things or whatever, because we don't print as much as folks did in the past, and those memories,
Mm-hmm.
it's never enough when it's too late, for sure.
That's true. I swear.
So fast. And it's crazy. Speaking of tonight, speaking of the memories and how things go by so fast, I thought it was kind of important to bring awareness to the effects that the interference that wives and girlfriends against the dad and the child have on the child, on the dad. I think I get wives a little bit more leniency than I do girlfriends, of course.
I do.
But I still, at the end of the day, feel like I don't feel like neither one of them should be involved unless they're needed.
I'm excited to hear more because we didn't get to pregame about this. So give me a little bit more about because now when we say the title, tell me where you come
right. From. So for me, my experience was my children had certain boundaries that they couldn't cross that was put in place by the wives. It wasn't necessarily put in place by their bios, but by their wives, and the bios just followed. Gotcha. Right? So as far as one of my kiddos, a lot of damage came behind it, and it was a lot of work that I had to do to correct it. And I never really understood why the interference was there. It was as if I didn't have a whole husband over here. And that was the justification. Huh?
Like having a whole husband or another mate matters when it comes to stuff like that.
And that's almost where it got, because none of that mattered. It was more of just, I wanted their husbands. And I never showed, I guess because I was cordial, or, because I wasn't bitter, or I don't really know, to be honest with you. I don't really know. I don't really think it had nothing to do with me, to be honest. I think it was inner issues that wasn't handled properly. And my kids was kind of the casualty of the war, right? Like, I ain't gonna have to deal with them, so shit, oh well, it's cool over here though, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't really a time where I felt, well, I'm gonna speak. I feel like there's not a time where dads feel the need to stand up because they want the peace in the home, right? So in order for them to have things cordial and peaceful for them, they just negate their responsibilities and the fact that this child sometimes was there way before the girlfriend or the wife. Again, the girlfriend, I don't really give that much to, because it ain't no telling how long you're going to be here. I give the wife a little bit more because it's a, chance that you can be here for a long time. As I was telling M during pregame, is some old messages popped up. Messages from 2010.
Lord, today.
But it popped up today, and it was so ironic, seeing as though this was our topic. And you all, how we always say things happen for a reason. So I just looked at M and was like, I didn't need the confirmation that good, like that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just did it, but I was grateful for it, because I think, again, this needs to be talked about a lot. It's not often that a baby mama want her baby daddy. It's not often. The fact that she got somebody has to be taken into consideration. You got some out there that will deal with baby daddy until the end of time. Absolutely, yes, you do. But that ain't all of us.
Right. No, for sure.
That's not all of us. Okay? You heard me. There is no way that I can find myself in a sexual encounter with you. You hurt my child. Are we in the same room? Because like that's a whole different level. And then for you to do it just out of spite, like no justification, no reasoning, just because, like I said, the peace wants to be kept or whatever. Paris, is this something you have experienced?
Oh, well, yes. I was thinking about listening to you, which way I approach, because I've been going through this for the last 10 years. And it's like mind blowing, especially when you think that, I think pretty clear. Always started when my daughter was young, I came from a place like, let's be real, like, Pierce, how would you want somebody to approach you or handle you? So I always was kind of like, our focus is the kids. Anybody that's around my daughter, I want to get to know them, so they could be there. But that was not received. I tried to make it too easy with I don't know, I ran into a little bit like that same thing, kind of keeping the peace. I think because I was so cool and calm, it came off as I would go for anything, or you could kind of handle me any kind of way. And it just didn't work. So a lot of times with that interference, especially knowing how I came as like, I'm just here so that my child can interact with other people. And then as Janelle got older, wives, I dealt with wives and girlfriends. All those have changed. And now it's become something completely different. And I really don't understand it. And a lot of times, like what I see now, which is interesting, like you said, those memories popped up for you, is interesting because my daughter's family, who I've always been open to everybody, they've been more interested in the podcast. And I'm like, yeah, come on over, because it could get interesting, because I say whatever I want. And I've always been made to be the bad guy, when I've always just tried to be like a community builder with the for my daughter. But now she's older, she has the skills to kind of navigate that. So now it's interesting me to see what folks have to say, because I've tried all point of views, and a lot of times, for sure, her dad never stood up or helped anything like that. And I know it's for sure to keep the peace there, but I couldn't understand why there was so much mess. And later it was,
kind of obvious.
Yeah, the why. We know why the why was.
We know the why. And that's even crazier too. Like, I know that this ain't something, that you could relate to, because you were smart and had your babies by the same woman. So, that's not really a thing. But
You mean he was married and he co-parents with? Because I only got one now, man.
I mean, I understand, but I'm saying from a guy's perspective, because where I was finna go, my homeboy, his baby mama interfered in his relationship with his daughter. You feel what I'm saying? So I was finna flip the perspective a little bit, and I was just saying Emery's never necessarily experienced her, halting the interaction with the boys, whereas my homeboy had years, years that he missed out because, as he said, she hated his guts. And it was just all because she hated his guts. It wasn't that he wasn't there. He was a soldier. He had always, he's always taking care of his daughter. But it was never a time until she became really an adult. Like what? Like 16, 17? Like she ended up moving in with him. Go ahead, Mom.
Oh no, finish it. I'll say a point before we turn it over to M, because I'm excited to hear M's point of view. But no, finish that. She
17. She ended up coming with him, and it was still things that he struggled with, but he was still open because that's her mom, and it was me like, don't expose her to that, and stop, put the boundary. And he like, but Misha, but that's her mom, and but she coming back hurt though. Like, what is it benefiting when it's not, there's no boosting, there's no encouraging, it's more downplaying because she love you, like you're her father at the end of the day, but she wants her to hate you. Like, why do they get to a point of them hating the baby daddy so bad to where now I gotta make you hate him too, so you'll choose me, right? Like, what in your opinion, like, where do you feel? Oh, it just disgusts me, because where do you feel that comes from?
Pain, like deep trauma. I feel like I feel like the pain and the trauma, or whatever big word we put in there, of the picture in our minds not going how it really should have in our minds. I think there's bigger for a lot of women when it comes to babies than is ever talked about out loud. I think that bothers. I think it tears something in women, or it does. It rips something up really really badly, where most can't come back from that. It's I don't know exactly. I have never. You asking me was the first time I'm thinking about it. So
no, I
never really had that.
I can second that, because in our mind at that time, we do create this fairy tale, right? Like, this finna be the happy home, like perfect, like we saw this on TV. Now I'm finna create this in my world, only for it to, that disappointment that we talk about all the time, to come, and that reality to hit, and it'd be like, well, he wasn't really ready. So you're absolutely right, in my opinion.
Yeah, now, and I'm not gonna put Shay out there, tough. But I definitely experienced all of that. Yeah, because I don't, that's she cool.
Yeah.
But I definitely 100% experienced that. It wasn't a prolonged period. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it definitely 100% happened. Like, yeah, she would definitely keep them. Do little spiteful stuff, but that was the one thing that would bother me the most out of anything else. Like, whatever else didn't matter. I didn't care about no guy, no money, whatever. Just when it comes to them kids, and when anybody, I don't want to just put it on chicks, but especially in those moments, though, y'all go for the thing that's gonna get some kind of reaction.
Yeah.
And it's usually those kids. But then, so I do think there's a compound thing. So you guys have this idea of how things should go with the baby, and the picture that you painted and told your aunties and your mom and them. And so it don't go right. And then he gets mad because he don't really know what you're doing. He just knows it's off. And then so he does some spiteful stuff back, which makes you then come back. You know what I'm saying? And then it's a cycle of mess that just keeps going and keeps going. And then if the woman wins the kids, that is too much power for anybody who's bitter or not, healthy minded. That, because I experienced that, like, in the midst, after I won the custody of the boys. Oh my God, the ideas that ran through my brain on how to just be petty legally, like I can do it with just about whatever I wanted, man. And I thought in that moment, I'm like, wow, this is why, so many females make you want to, you got to jump through the hoops that they, how they set it on fire. You have to, or else you can't see your kids. And that's clearly not everybody, but a lot of women do that, a whole bunch.
Right.
And I think that power of custody, the initial break of whatever idea they had for their future when it pertains to the kids, and then the petty back and forth tit for tat. That's what I think. I think that's a big component. I don't know if it's something else.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree. Something comment. Oh, go ahead, Pete.
No, I was going to say, I think what you guys said, it wraps it up a lot for me. And I put my disclaimer out there too, because I always hope like conversations like these do get back to Janelle's dad to open up different channels, because I've always never supported like bash or anything. But I remember, like, even when I was pregnant and that stuff hit the fan, like, I intimidated him. Like, when we went over the pros and cons list of the situation, it instantly turned into me rubbing it into his face. And I think, like, we even came together, and I'm like, listen, like, nothing is gonna go right till you do right by your kids. Like, just try to set it. Like, you don't have to, even if I'm in the way, like, just try to get on that same page. And that hurt and that pain does impact, because now it's like you give up. Like, it keeps happening. You don't try again to try and come back, because like Emery said, now if you was already intimidated by me, then Janelle's amazing. It just doesn't get any easier to try to come back in, and especially if you don't know how. And now I really know, I'm excited to see, because I always have hope that he'll turn it around for Janelle, and it's just easier for me because she getting older. It's like if it was my fault or anything like that you tried to blame, it don't have nothing to do with me no more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, that's another thing. The question that I had, actually, let me hop into this. So,
what's up, Dennis? By the way,
he said that she couldn't shut him down
or hinder his progress.
And it hurt her. He said, I wasn't the typical baby daddy story, and she couldn't use it as an excuse to compensate for her issues.
Now, see, that's a very big point. Scoot back to that for a second, if you don't mind. He said, I wasn't the typical baby daddy story, and she couldn't use it as an excuse to compensate for her issues. So there was some very big lack going on, clearly. And she was most likely used to tacking it on to whoever she deals with. Because she could probably explain better or argue a little better or something like that. I've experienced that, not necessarily with my ex-wife,
yeah,
but in a couple different areas of life. That is a thing when they are used to so much. They don't even sometimes know they're used to that trauma like that. They don't, that how they're used to getting, as much as they really hate it, they find so much comfort in that dysfunction that they don't even see it. They, don't even see the cycle that they're in. That's crazy.
I think she just wasn't over him. I think she tried to play the I don't need you, you know what I'm saying? And then when he was like, all right, cool.
Right, it backfired.
And I don't think that she was able to she didn't know the proper way to aim it. So it just always went as daggers to him. You know what I'm saying? No matter what he done, it just always went as daggers to him. Because he wasn't a typical baby daddy. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, and I was gonna say I wasn't the typical baby mama, because even listening now and getting wiser with time, I think when he left when I was pregnant and then came back, the trust was gone. There was no space. Like my family had filled in the gap. I was gonna figure it out. So to be in pain and going through something, and you come back to a place where I don't even trust, and there's no room for you to feel needed, I can see how that.
That's when the masculinity comes in.
Yeah, but I didn't even have, it was over. Like,
yeah, like I'm good.
Oh, baby here now.
He said baby daddies are usually used as a scapegoat to take the heat off of the mother's shortcomings. It really got bad once I stopped entertaining her. She had no fuel for her fire. He said, what up, Emery? Out of 4 fathers of hers, she got 4 baby daddies. I was the one that always was there for my child. And she had no grounds to dog me like the rest. Yeah. But she had to find something because that was her normal, right? So if I don't blame him and you see that I'm messing up here, then no, it ain't me, it's him, I feel like I got the brunt of that a lot because people didn't really know the true story. It was always like I was made out to be the bad person. Well, I don't let her have access because she disrespects or, she does this and she does that. I just said, hey, I need diapers. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because I didn't go through you had an issue. I don't feel the need to go through you. I just don't. And the reason I'm speak for myself, and if it applies to others, then it just do. I never laid down with you. You never came to me to establish the respect between you and I, saying that we have children by the same God. You know what I'm saying? That's now your husband or whatever. So for you to expect the female to just instantly come to you, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
I did the opposite.
But it backfired.
Right. And so now I'm like that because I definitely was like, we're women. If you want to talk, girl, that's easier than men. Still didn't work. That was
because no matter what,
internal, they're insecure within.
No matter what
was wrong with other people, babe. You got him the wrong way, so you still don't trust me in your face. That still not be. They ask for that. That's like when people ask for stuff, they don't really know what they want. Women swear they want women to come to them. Then when the woman comes to them, then they don't know how to.
They uncomfortable with it. But they be so worried with shutting baby mama down that the other chick that's around the corner that's been lurking, you feel what I'm saying, is trying to become baby mama number 7. You feel me? She done got access to the beehive while you sitting up still looking around trying to make sure I ain't coming around.
Right.
Girl.
Which is, I would be there and I would say, like, I literally need diapers. Girl, what do you think? I'm not, what?
I already know what Emery's answer gonna be, but I'm gonna just ask it. I already know what his answer gonna be.
Surprise you. It's been a new father.
Nope. You already know what his answer gonna be once I ask this question.
Okay. Hey, Paris.
Oh, that just cringes my soul when I read that the other day, bro. I just bust out laughing because I already knew. And then he laughed too. He an idiot. Should the dad stand up and tell his girl wife to chill or peace out on the child just so it can be quiet at home, comfortable at home?
Oh, well, you do know my answer. That's obvious. It's your life. Tell that woman to zip it, get on back on up.
Man, it's still hope out there.
No, so the problem really is those boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, from the mother of the other child, of the child that's in between, it may not be quite as obvious that his new girlfriend is the priority. And what happens is the mom, either she does it on purpose or not knowing, but what comes off is she's using the baby as a pawn when she just really wants that attention, not for the kid. So that's what comes off. And so if you force that hand, a lot of men who are not the best thinkers will definitely just side with their new chick because of how or either to even just stop because we've seen how ugly she can be. I don't even want to go there.
Yep.
I know it sucks, but then I can also blame this on her. Like the mama won't, the baby mama won't let me get to him how I need to unless I jump through the hoops exactly how she wants. And I'm not doing all that because that says to his new chick, she still got control over you.
Right.
I'm telling you, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
If I gotta jump through, ridiculous hoops to get to my kid and I'm doing it, it may even say to her that I still like you.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole bunch of stuff that in the moment the baby mama of the kid doesn't necessarily look at and think about, but the daddy got to get all of it. He gets how he feels, how his boo feels, and how the baby mama feels, and the kid.
And that energy, right? Because I know, woof.
So it's just it's a lot, and then I got a new girl, so I can't, there. And then again, if you don't have the right vocabulary, or don't even maybe you don't even know what's exactly wrong to even express it, you don't know how to tell your new girl, I need to make her happy right now so that I can see my kid. You can't. Some people can't explain it that way because it's because to her again, it's like, why would you just go to court? Like that's the fix for the relationship if you're insecure. But it's harder on me to have to do it that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole bunch that you have to dive into when you're dealing with that.
I just think it's unfortunate when that's used just to justify your insecurities, right? Like, I agree with you. There are some cases out there that goes that way, right? Probably more than one would actually imagine. But when you don't have that situation and she like, you can come get them, don't care, she not calling the whole time they've gone with you. She's not making it hard for you. But because your girl is so insecure, she's just creating the scenario because that is a thing in life, right? Not their current thing.
Right, but because it is.
In life, right?
Yeah.
So now everybody is penalized because of said insecurities and girlfriend, wife, because some baby mamas, again, don't give a fuck about baby daddy. Just don't. Like, let me just be clear. Don't. It don't matter what you think baby mama feel, or it don't matter what baby daddy feel about baby mama. Like, you can't make it what it's not. You just can't. And again, I had a whole husband, like a whole husband. So for it to constantly, I don't think people understand to have your name ringing in the streets and you ain't nowhere around. And when you hear it, you like, what? Like, when did this, like, huh? And now you gotta, I guess, I don't know, be the bad person or whatever, or just be the real one and be like, no, what happened was, so now it's just so much bull that you have to deal with while you're still trying to put pieces together that somebody else broke. Right? You ain't even break the puzzle, but you consistently gotta put these pieces back in. So it's like Paris said earlier, sometimes individuals, I knew I ain't want no man with kids. I tell y'all that all the time. I knew I ain't want to deal with no shit. I knew I did. Man, I got with, didn't have no children. None. Except in my children. Then we had a child together. Now we don't fuck with none. I'm just playing, but
All right. I was right. All right. Now, that's far enough.
Pixie.
The biggest issue was she had people in her circle who thought just like her. You can close the show. We don't even listen. So it validated her feelings and made logic go out the window. Everything was built off of anger instead of logic. Now my daughter is down here with me thriving. Well, then there's a win.
And thriving ain't the word. She getting it.
Fact. My girlfriend at the time was the reason why our co-parenting relationship went away. She felt like we were trying to replace her. The baby mama felt like she was trying to.
Because of her.
Y'all had a unit and she didn't.
Yeah. And just automatically went to, Shorty stepping in. And Shorty was really just supporting him. You know what I'm saying? Just being the woman that she was supposed to be to him, with him having a child outside of their relationship. You know what I mean? So she enjoyed, because she had a kid as well. So she enjoyed them getting together and just doing things together. You know what I'm saying? But because baby mama felt the way she felt, everything just looked like, oh, she's stepping on my toes, or, it was just, yeah, like it was just a lot of stupid stuff. And I think what frustrated me is it made him second guess himself, because his daughter was priority, right? But he also had to nurture his relationship. So like you said, how it puts guys in this corner to where they don't know what to turn. Like, I don't want you to feel like I want my baby mother, because that's the last thing that I want. But she is making me play this game just to have a relationship with my daughter, So that's the unfortunate part to me. Go ahead, bro.
And it was so crazy because the whole entire time, even now, I wanted all the interference, all the smoke. The girlfriend, the wife, is this the new one? Introduce her. You got other kids. I wanted like the whole family. I wanted everybody to interfere, because like I think, especially coming from being raised by my grandmother and community, I'm like, if there's more love out there that's going to be good, bring it on. And then when she got older and I realized I had her all the time by myself, I was like, you don't think I want a week or something? I want to say her daddy picking her up. Like, it's just so interesting. And I think that's because I'm not the majority. So the other baby mamas, the other people giving you grief, you just then lumped me in with them. And instead, now my daughter is the only one that suffers now.
Both mine.
I think it goes to say too that how much we need to, like, in those moments, women, baby mama, whoever has the kid, which is usually the mama.
Yeah.
Y'all, in the moment, you can create so much mess that it's hard to come back from. And in those moments, the mom doesn't usually look down the line. Like, if I keep going, I could literally run him off and he's done, because in their mind, I'm so right that if he do, then it's his fault. So my kids will miss out because of him. Not really looking at the fact that you can really do too much. People can really, and as sad as it is, and I don't totally understand it, men can be off them kids if it means dealing with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that is what sucks because
Yeah.
it's a both. There's no like one way to do this thing. You know what I mean? We all have to kind of look at it. If we look inward first,
that's the one.
which is something that we don't usually do. If we look inward first, we'll see the problem a lot faster. We'll see our involvement a lot faster because like the guy, whoever get the kids, I'm telling you that power that is really unmatched. If you want to be petty and you get the kids,
and make it easy.
then they're like, there are people like Peter, parents who was like she wasn't like that. Like, but and so there's another section, deadbeats. Them, I don't think this is about maybe not so much about deadbeats, right? This topic
category, that's good.
Yeah, so your stuff go all the way.
No,
I mean, situation to pull from. We don't got to talk
it
about
does, but it's not like the narrative we're talking about per se. But you know what I'm saying? That power is too much for an unhealed person to have.
It is.
Because like I say, like you can do too much in these first 5 years, whatever, after that split, to where you run the nigga off. And I'm not saying it's right or that he should, because that's still wrong. You know how I feel. Y'all really know. But that's what it happens so much, the fix needs to be looked at, because all we doing is saying, see, it's on him, he won't do, and vice versa. But get your life, because look at the kid. That's who's missing out. And that's who's missing out. Like the kid. You don't even want him. He don't want you. And y'all fighting with each other, and I get the initial. I mean, I get that's how it go. I don't get it, but right. Yeah, that's how it go. Yeah. So, but if you're you're drawing it out, and it's been years now, and the kids been through puberty, got boobs and periods, and niggas horny, getting the wet dreams, all that. And you still fighting with the chick, you still trying to prove your point, because you're so right, or you're not doing anything to just not deal with it. And in every scenario, who's losing?
Makes sense in every scenario.
It don't matter, because whoever's on it, the wife, the girlfriend, the baby daddy, the cousin of the baby, granny, get the. Shouldn't matter. If we slow down, just woo-sah, and look at little Emery. Let's see. Okay, Emery's got to win. Right now, in this moment, if I be realistic, I'm not in a good enough position to help him win. But who can, how much work do you have to have on yourself to be able to say that? Because ain't nobody saying that. Right now, in this moment, I don't have what it takes to help Emery win. I need some help. So, let's see. His mama, this ain't her story. His mama hollering and fussing and popping windows. All right, I'm going to Uber the kids over there. Let's find a way. If I got to go to backhand around for a while and be passive aggressive and not so aggressive, okay, let's try that. That don't work, man. Let me recoup. Let's try something else. Our goal should be trying till those kids win. But we get in our feelings, and like I say, we get, I know I'm right about whatever I'm feeling, and I'm gonna drive it home until she admits it or apologizes for her part, and that never really comes. So the kid is still the one losing.
I also think that a lot of parents react on, I didn't have that. I didn't have my mom. I didn't have my dad, so you'll be okay. Or, you know what I'm saying, to justify their actions of pushing the other parent away or creating turmoil.
All right.
I just like what he said. He said he almost gave up because of his baby mother. And every man doesn't have the mental capacity to fight that fight.
That's right.
That is absolutely true.
Oh, we got
that is absolutely true. And as much as they want to fight, they really will just throw their hands up and be like, oh, well, somebody else will pick up the baton and keep it running.
And it's sad that they get that way. But it's also sad that they're pushed to that.
To be to that point. I had the door open for 9 years. 9 years. Like my husband was like, yo, no, it's over, it's done. I'm like, no, maybe, like, because I knew that she wanted to know where she came from, right? After so long and really listening to what he was saying, and it was like, yeah, if a person wanted to come within these years, they'd have came. Like they came. So when he finally came and said, I'm ready to adopt her, it was like, okay, let's go. And she what? Gonna be 22. So, and when I say he got his claws in his baby girl, baby, don't let nobody get close to him. And I don't blame him because that's his. That's something he's nurtured since she was 9 months old. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Who is Dennis talking about punching in the mouth?
I don't know. Who you talking about, babe?
Who you talking about?
Punch that nigga in the mouth, Misha. I'm trying to think back. I'm doing a running back to what you said. Probably not being there for your baby.
Yeah, because he know my story just like I know his.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We've been friends for 30 years. So,
And I think one thing to remind women who fight all that, like how Emery mentioned, like you can do too much and run that man off. I feel like now, like for Janelle, I don't even know what type of gaps. Like I can have, like we talked about on Father's Day, you can have great men around, all that stuff. There's still a missing from her actual father not being there, adding on other loss. But now it's the same thing. Like I think the last conversation he said was, why are you like this? And I'm like, just tell me what like this seat. Like just help me, give me more of the fight to go with. And now she's bigger. So all of that open and taking it from you and these different girlfriends and wives and still just trying, now all my effort has switched and ran off to being able to pour into my daughter to make sure she has the resources, the community, or whatever she needs, because we done tried that for 10 years. I'm still keeping it open, hoping for her, but now you've run me off. So now I'm interested in your family. Oh, she's okay. I'm not interested in the small talk. I'm not interested in all of that because all of my interest has to be poured to this because y'all didn't want to go this way.
Yeah, I think for me, it was important, to keep a window open, but I knew that I wanted it to be limited, right? So I just went to those who accept her are the ones that I'm gonna make sure the door or the window is open to. Long story short, it only ended up being like 3 people. And I think what killed her the most is when she had her daughter, and like we made arrangements to go back to the hometown and everything, and like nobody showed up. And I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back for her. And ever since then, it's been a wrap. Like, don't post no pictures. I don't. And it's very hard to hurt her feelings. So when she react that way, I know, where it's coming from. So I just have to be what I've always been. Because at the end of the day, like I always say, they minds. They minds.
All right.
Do y'all feel that it's important for the child, wife/girlfriend, to form a relationship?
If they're younger, especially.
Yeah.
If they're gonna be around them.
Absolutely.
And I can even say that, speaking back to having a parent that dated a lot, after my be, I would have definitely preferred some different situations versus just being forced in front of new women. And you have to perform, because if that adult or somebody you look up to is telling you gonna like them, what you gonna do?
Right.
So
I don't think I've ever been placed in a situation.
Which is always so nice to all the different women, especially when they were mothers. I was so confused what the beat. Well, you know what the weave was. I couldn't understand. I'm like, girl, if you want to feel like a winner, you won. I'm just trying to just here for the kids.
See, I was the opposite. Like my dad didn't want to bring him around me because I was rude. And I knew I was rude because I didn't have a relationship with him.
Yeah.
So why are you here? And I was an adult, like I was teenage, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't I wasn't 5, 10. No, I was like 14, 15. So now I'm really in Misha, right? So it's like, all right.
That is so funny. And Thelma knows I love her. If she ever hears this, that's who my dad is married to now. But it's so funny. When we popped up and found out they was already married, all the siblings, it was my graduation, matter of fact, when we had to meet her. Talk about it later. But then all the siblings, Brady, I was like, we ain't talking to her. Forget that. Da, da, da. She walked in and didn't talk to us. So it was like, so then I had to say, hello. Heard you're the wife. So it's, which is the same with, I think, dealing with Janelle's dad. I think that's why my dad and Janelle's dad still grind me up, because it's like the things that you talk to and prepare, or you have all the anxiety about, sometimes you don't even get that fight. You don't even get that interaction to even have them care on that level.
It was just funny to me to, I think, like you said, it was one for sure. One for sure I can remember that I actually still talk to this day. And she just always told me, you are the reason why I stood up to your dad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like hearing you talk to him and check him when he was wrong, and you having the balls, because at the end of the day, that's your dad. You know what I'm saying? So for me to hear you and you like mad younger than me, but I just always felt like if you wrong, you wrong, because everybody hold us accountable, right? You're mean, or you're this or you're that. So why is it not fair for me to hold you accountable, no matter who you is? Y'all already know how I feel about that. I don't care. I feel like the higher your title, motherfucker, you should be better. That's how I feel. Right. And it's like, now the higher your title, the worse you are.
That's the reality. Yeah.
But you want all of this payback. You want all of this help. You want all of this respect. You want all of this, and you giving us shit in the bag just because we're your kid. Just because, like, I don't want it. You can have it back. I'm allergic.
I think too, some of the stuff, I wrote this down. Some of the guys that allow this stuff to happen. Oh, there we go. They may have only given their new boo the worst stuff about you.
Yeah.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Just want you to know how much they don't like you. And then that sometimes is a defense mechanism
for how much they really do like you.
For even if it's not a whole bunch, it's for the most part, the whatever attracted you to them is still kind of there, right? Just a little bit. It's not like you acting on it sometimes or whatever, but something's there, right?
Just gonna sit
and so,
the babies don't change nothing, sister.
So that's there, but because again, we don't necessarily have the vocabulary to express this. How can you have that conversation in an amicable way?
It rolled. We was going.
I was almost there. In an amicable way with someone who can understand it. Right. So now, excuse me, not only do you have to avoid the conversation, you have to act like it's not there. I'm not saying this is the right way to do it. This is, I believe, what happens. I get homeboys that's kind of experienced it in this way, man. You have to kind of act like now you can't stand her. When it's not even that, sometimes it's not even that big. You just, she ain't ugly no more just because y'all, right. broke up. So something, whatever's there, but you can't have that conversation.
Because them insecurities in your home.
Yes, it could be in her. It could be, in you.
Right.
It could be in your new boo. It could be in her. It could be in all of y'all collectively.
Yep.
And then nobody knows how to navigate through any of that. And so I'm only explaining it. I can't give me some more spinach. Hold on.
Your gummies.
Right, I know, right? Switched up on me.
What's that with that?
I don't know. It might be a little CBD in there. No, but if nobody knows how to express it. So what only comes out is the most passionate response. And passion doesn't always have to be positive. You can be passionate about, being negative. And that's what happens. And then there's tit for tat. And the whole thing, if we could just sit down and have a hard conversation, and people promise not to get in their feelings and listen. And if it gets too hot and heavy, we stop.
Yeah.
Or stop. Find a way to have that hard conversation for everybody involved to be able to express themselves. And let's talk about it.
What about Emery? Because I understand I've tried that a few times, but then I realized even outside of this situation, I feel like with adults especially is when you talk to them and you can't have those conversations, you realize they can't even have hard conversations with themselves.
Yeah.
So like not even worth having the round table again because like you don't even talk to yourself.
But that's the patterns. I don't mean to answer for you, Em, but that's the patterns that I always speak about.
Okay.
Like,
Laughing my jelly beans.
If you always, consistently see these patterns, then why are you steadily falling into this trap? You know what I'm saying? Like you have to pay attention and take heed because it just is what it is.
But I think like you kind of how like whatever you want to call her said that you inspired her. I really feel like Janelle will be the one to always have the olive branch or however she does, because I think how it all started with me really trying, she has other siblings and I've always pushed her to like that. That's family, because I heard something else, a podcast the other day, because she caught me off guard. I think I mentioned before when she said she didn't have a dad when she was little. And I said, oh no, you do. It's just a little different than maybe what you see around you.
Right, you're normal.
Part of what makes me feel better now, like all that stuff, like yeah, keep trying, yeah, it's open, but now I just look at ways like teaching her different ways to forgive, but like what that looks like and open, because I really think that's the only way, or that's gonna be the one that bridges that gap. It ain't gonna work.
Yeah, because Alicia, she used to be like, I want sisters. So I used to be like, you got them. She be like, I never want them. Sorry. I mean, I don't really know what to tell you. Like
that's all you got out of me.
I don't know what to tell you. You got two brothers from me. Like it just is what it is. Oh, that's not fair. I agree.
Right. It's life ain't. It's not fair that I ain't get that 400 million and the 300 million.
It's not fair.
I want all 700 million.
18 years, but I had to deal with it.
Yeah, life ain't fair. That's what you know.
We just got to keep it moving, keep it pushing, But I always say, like, honestly, y'all, like, honest, this is how I know I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. None of that. Like, I thank my bios, you know what I'm saying, for making sure, like, for giving me my little ass munchers. Like, I am so serious. Right. I love my babies with absolutely everything in me. And despite of, I can't say that it was a mistake made. You feel what I'm saying? Like it was those individuals that I ended up having children by. So my kids aren't mistakes.
What would you do if that was thrown? Because that's been thrown in my face before. It was definitely said that how can you hate me when I gave you your greatest prize? And I was like, what is that? What does that mean? Like,
that's actually a dope line. I would probably use that. If I was a deadbeat acting like that, that's a hot line, baby. Listen.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, think about it. You hate me. I gave you the best thing that's ever happened to you. And
then because it did part, and I was like, how did you get there? Like your mind is so.
I know for you to get that way, but that's clearly like this is for if you haven't done the work, nothing's gonna work. Nothing will work for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you still have to be on a whole journey on your own, and that's our problem. We don't even vet people enough before we
figure it out.
Let these niggas pop these kids in us. Or we get these kids. We don't know. I don't know the girl enough. The guy. We don't know each other for real. We just know he's sexy. We're attracted to each other sexually.
I don't know. I knew mine for a long time. I knew mine since 5th grade.
But he was like, I was in high school. He wasn't himself yet. He wasn't who he is now.
Well. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like when we get the you the one laid down with them, blah 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 blah, right? Mm-hmm. You laid down with the person before they became who they are, right? You laid down with the representative and not the real them, right? Because y'all know I'm real big on individuals show you who they want you to see within them. Yeah. So the representative that was shown to me was, I'm there for my kids. I want to be there for my kids. We got a son together. Like, it was a conversation. We got a son with other people, how we have our daughter together, blah, 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 blah. Little did I know he already had a daughter coming. Like, it was just a lot of bullshit that I wasn't privy to because shit, I wasn't privy to it, right? So the only thing I can go off of is what was shown to me. Never in a million years did I think from the conversation, from the relationship, from what I thought it was, that I would be the only one that he would just be like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, never in a million years. But that was the reality. So for me, it was like, do I sit and question where I went wrong? Do I sit and question, or do I go through woe is me? Or nah, she on the street, on the prowl, back again. Oh, boom.
Because I was way riskier with some different guys, and they definitely could have been the winner.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
But I feel like people don't always, with a complete open mind, have this conversation. If you want to go black and white, yeah, we chose. But if you want to know, and I think that goes to some of the respect I have. Like, if you really want to talk to the details of the situation and how that came, it definitely, and representatives last a long time. It's a lot of that goes into that. But I normally steer clear of that conversation because if you want to go black and white, sure, we picked
absolutely
our parents are with the kids.
Sure.
If you just want that easy, fine.
First one, I ain't even choose. I had a whole protection all the way through. Just yeah. So that's when I was like, all right, it was meant for him to be here by him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just had to eat that. Like, it was an ain't shit moment, and I had that stain forever. No, he ain't a stain.
All right. No, that definitely happens, man. Like, yes, exactly how you said. Like, on the bottom line level, it was, it wasn't a rape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but like you don't know these people totally, but it should also kind of speak to us how fast we kind of get into it with these people.
I mean, it depends, but we don't know people what's fast.
The same day, nigga, this next week, you know how it goes. I mean, be going that far, unprotected, so quickly. Yeah, that is a problem today. Yeah.
Yeah, with some, I think, but you can't generate, and that's why a lot of folks can't really talk about different things because everybody, yep, that's not the whole
gist.
Nah, but everything,
But that's what I'm saying. The ones that I did meet on Thursday and smashed out on Friday ain't the ones that I had a kid back.
Would have preferred.
Right. I would have preferred them to be my baby daddy.
So you think, right this minute.
I see their actions.
I know.
You see your actions with those other people, but you can see those actions with how they are with other people, except for you now, too.
For me and those different ones, I still so when they are shocked that I go through this situation from different ones, I'm like, it's not too late for you to they're still open. And
I'm gonna keep it all the way funky like that ass. I would have preferred for my son to have been by my ex-husband. Like, let's keep it real. Like let's go, let's do it. I would have preferred, like, for real. But it just wasn't in the cards. Absolutely. So as much as Bio claimed to hate me, guess what? You weren't my choice either, honey boo boo. You weren't. Yeah. That's just the way our cards played. Like, our hands were dealt. You had to deal with me for whatever. I had to deal with you for whatever. So I suck it up because, again, my kids aren't mistakes. No matter who they're by, they were blessings to me because I didn't think I was gonna have them, right? So it's just I played the cards that I was dealt, and my husband came in, and that's why that is my superhero because he definitely saved the day. I don't know where I would have been without him. As much turmoil as we went through, it was worth it because he helped me through something that the individuals just threw away, in my opinion. So
yeah.
But
like Dennis said, down the gaslighting comes from
loss of control. For sure, 100. Because you got to gain that back. But I don't mean to be rude, y'all. But Paris knowing why I'm cutting my husband frying chicken.
He back in town.
He ain't went nowhere yet. He don't need to smile. And if you had air grilled fried chicken, look how face.
Just start your wrap up, girls.
So typically, when we close out, we always go with what we intended for you all to take away from this particular episode. And let's start with you.
I'd say wives and girlfriends, chill out. Let the relationship form organically. Don't be intimidated by the baby mama initially. Have your eyes open, but let's just be realistic. Because if y'all don't work out and you got these new rules in place that he got to move through. Well, if y'all don't work out, then what? So just ease into this. Like, this is really not your fight. You need to see how you can make this easier for him. Period. Men or baby daddies, whatever. Get your life. Put the woman in her place. And that sounds so barbaric in these times, but that's what needs to happen. She is not your kid's mom. You need a working relationship with your baby mama. So either you need to make sure it's a working relationship, and so your new girl can feel secure, or make sure like there's no extracurricular activities going on, so you can just parent your kid, and then make sure that your girl knows her place in all of this. Like she will be like, if she's not your wife yet, you will be one day. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna work towards that. Right now, this is what works in my life. I need to keep this how it is. I need access to my kid. Yes, it's not fair. If she's flipping out and doing all this, making it hard, okay, I still gotta have access. So, and I don't need the stress of you, or threatening to leave or making it hard at the house, because I need to make sure that this relationship works out. That's my spiel.
For me, I just feel like at the end of the day, it's very important for children to know their fathers, their parents, right? Be it if you're a stepdad or if you're a stepmom. It's very important for that outside child to know where they come from and to know that they're actually wanted and they're included and they're not the reason for, you and the mom or the dad not getting along, because that weighs very heavy on the child. Even though you may not pay attention to it, it does. That kid feels like, well, what did I do for this bio parent to not want to deal with me? Why am I seeing pictures of them and other kids? Why did he show up to this recital? Why did he show up to that graduation? Why is this birthday party? You're playing Easter Bunny. You know what I'm saying? Like, just take into consideration that your insecurities can cause insecurities of another female. That's my spiel.
I think for me, just I think if you already don't have that relationship, we should have more healthy disruption and interference. I think like people always think they have more time, and our kids grow up so fast, and I respect my daughter as she ages and her thoughts. So I think like now as she gets older, I always think about things with like, can I explain it to her, or how would I explain it to her? So I think like we mentioned earlier, do some more internal work and then cause some more ruckus behind these kids. And if I think, like you said, if we stand up and really put some respect on our titles, like mom, dad, parents, and if that's your woman, like it should all be adding towards the value of making it better for these kids. So stop lying to yourselves and blaming it on the other person when really there's some conversations that can be had and you wasting time.
Wasting time. I love it.
Shouldn't have got with him if you ain't want to deal with the baby mom. But anyway, thank you all for joining us on this episode of Crucial Convos. I am your girl, F.L.O.R.
It's your boy, Emery.
I'm your favorite healthy hustling momager.
Until next time.
Till next time.